The Laser Weapon System, or LAWS, is a directed energy weapon developed by the United States Navy. The weapon was installed on USS Ponce for field testing in 2014. In December 2014, the United States Navy reported the LAWS system works perfectly, and that the commander of the Ponce is authorized to use the system as a defensive weapon. The LAWS is a ship defense system that has so far publicly engaged an unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV or drone, and a simulated small boat attacker. LAWS uses an infrared beam from a solid-state laser array which can be tuned to high output to destroy the target or low output to warn or cripple the sensors of a target. Among the advantages of this device versus projectile weapons is the low cost per shot, as each firing of the weapon requires only the minimal cost of generating the energetic pulse. By contrast, ordnance for projectile weapons must be designed, manufactured, handled, transported and maintained, and takes up storage space. The LAWS is designed to be used against low-end asymmetric threats. Scalable power levels allow it to be used on low power to dazzle a person's eye to non-lethally make them turn away from a threatening posture, and increase to 30,000 watts, 30 kilowatts, to fry sensors, burn out motors, and detonate explosive materials. Against a vital point on small UAV versus, one can be shot down in as little as 2 seconds. When facing small boats, the laser would target a craft's motor to disable it and make it dead in the water, then repeating this against others in rapid succession, requiring only a few seconds of firing per boat. Targeting the platform is more effective than individual crew members, although the LAWS is accurate enough to target explosive rockets if on board, whose detonations could kill the operators. Against larger aircraft like helicopters, it is able to burn through some vital components, which would cause it to fall and crash. Humans are not a target of the weapon under stipulations of the Convention on certain conventional weapons, but targets do include UAV, helicopters, and fast patrol craft. Rules of engagement have been developed for its use, but details have not been released. The Navy has released video of the LAWS on deployment disabling a Scan Eagle UAV, detonating a rocket-propelled grenade, RPG, and burning out the engine of a rigid-hull inflatable boat. Officials said it is working beyond expectations. Compared to hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars for a missile, one laser shot costs only 59 cents. Composed of commercial laser components and proprietary Navy software, it is powered and cooled by a skid through a diesel generator, separate from the ship's electrical systems, giving greater efficiency relative to power provided of 35%. Mounted on the Ponce's superstructure above the bridge, its powerful optics are also useful as a surveillance tool that can detect objects at unspecified but tactically significant ranges. Sailors have equated its surveillance abilities to having the Hubble telescope at sea. Sailors are using it for targeting and training daily, whether to disable or destroy test targets or for potential target identification. The system is operated through a flat-screen monitor and a gaming system-like controller integrated into the ship's combat system, so anyone with experience playing common video games can operate the weapon. It has functioned well against adverse weather, able to work in high humidity and after a dust storm. However, the system is not expected to work during harsh sandstorms and has not been tested in such conditions because it didn't make much sense to, but threats would also not be expected to be operational under the same conditions. Deployments on other ships are being examined, and although the LAWS was planned to remain deployed for 1 year, it performed so well that fleet leadership decided to keep it on the Ponce as long as it was at sea, potentially into 2017.